Hello, everybody, and welcome back to reviewing every single WrestleMania main event in history. Today we are on episode 19, reviewing WrestleMania 19, where we saw Kurt Angle take on Brock Lesnar in both man's first main event at WrestleMania. This match has been pretty well praised by most, as it is one of the most technical WrestleMania main events, given as we have two, legitimate pro wrestlers in there, amateur wrestlers. So this match I've heard is really good, and I could see it hitting the top 5. However, I've never seen this match before, so I'll be giving you my very raw reactions after I've seen the match. Just got finished watching the match, and this one is definitely going to be going on the top 5. The beginning is very technical, and then it becomes more like pro wrestling style as it goes on, and it feels very well balanced between two really good wrestlers. So there are a couple of pre-match notes here. So as you can see, into the build to this match, Brock had already fought Kurt for the title, but Kurt made his entrance first, and he was pretending to kind of like sit on the ropes like this. And while Brock was making his entrance and looking away, he switched places with his brother, Eric. And when Brock just started beating the hell out of Eric, he thought it was Kurt. So he went for the cover. 1, 2, who is this guy? And while he was distracted, Kurt was able to run up behind him and small package him to retain his title. So they were, ha ha ha, how humorous. Now, Stephanie McMahon, I believe the week after that, said, if you get DQ'd, count it out, or if someone tries to interfere in the match for you, you will lose your title, and Brock will automatically become the champion. And Angle progressively just goes, it's absolutely shot list. So Kurt enters first to very massive, you suck, bam, 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 you suck, chants from the entire crowd in Seattle, Washington. Michael Cole tries to talk about Angle and say, oh, he's been a champion for a while now, blah, 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 blah. But it sounds like he's smoked 20 packs a day for years, because he's talking, everybody, Kurt Angle is very good. And he seems to have some sort of either injury to his throat, a very sore throat, strep, I don't know. But he sounds horrid for most of this match. And eventually near the end, it sounds more like Michael, but he is very like, yeah, throughout the entire bout. So Lesnar enters, but as part of the story, Angle and his group, the Team Angle, had injured his ribs going into this match. So he has tape around his rib area right above his belt. Well, he doesn't actually have a belt, his belt line. And that's what Angle targets for most of the match. This is also, as a non-actual match thing, the first WrestleMania where the WWE is the owner, not the WWF, as they had just changed in May of 2002. So a little bit of a notable thing, and they have to announce the title as the WWE title and not the WWF one. So the match begins, and they begin, unsurprisingly, with very technical wrestling. They're chain wrestling on the mat, moving around as you do in amateur wrestling. Very funny. Ha ha ha. They are both really good at that. And Michael Cole lists their achievements, Olympic gold medal, NCAA champion, ... Unsurprising and effective. Lesnar does take charge, and he does a lot of physical work as he is the bigger man in the match, clubbing forearms, big knee, kick strikes. It's a pretty effective way to open up the match. So Lesnar rolls out of the ring. I don't really know why. It just happened because I glanced away for a moment and then he was out of the ring. So when he tried to roll back in, Angle had recovered and started stomping him to take control again. Now, he was aiming at the ribs generally. He didn't really kick at the ribs. He was kicking kind of here, which isn't the ribs. But whatever, I'll let him pass. Doesn't really matter to me. So Lesnar is, getting beat down, and as he gets up, Angle goes for a forearm. However, I don't know how you get this much of a counter. So they're like this. Angle's going in with the forearm. Lesnar is able to turn, get Angle up for a gorilla press, which is a pretty effective maneuver. A gorilla press is a very strong maneuver. Drops him down, boom, gorilla press, and Taz calls him, and I quote, the Vanilla Gorilla, which is such a Taz line that it makes me laugh even more. So while Lesnar has gotten control. There is a lot of control changing during this match. They alternate who's in the lead very often. And Angle does this vicious suplex, a German onto the ring turnbuckle, bang, and then Lesnar has to fall off of it, but he falls like this. He's all angled, and then he has to lay down on the mat. Looks really good, really painful, and very effective, giving Angle some control. So Angle works the ribs further. He starts beating them, kicking them, and locks in a variation of the bow and arrow. It's a bit of a strange move. So he got like a sleeper hold in, but he's also got Lesnar's leg locked behind him. So it's in a sense similar to an Asuka lock, but it's missing that last arm hold. It looks something like this, with the other leg locked behind him and in the chokehold. Lesnar nearly passes out. Like he's on the ground. They don't do the 1, 2, oh, he's still alive spot, but it's clear that he's almost done. So he holds it for 1 to 2 minutes. But Angle during this modifies it. Instead of the leg hold, just starts doing this, like, and Lesnar's selling this kind of as he really needs to take a big poop. Like he's standing there, and it looks like he's in the bathroom, and he really has a fat one. He went to Taco Bell, you see. So finally, Lesnar is able to escape because Angle is gotten up on his shoulders because Lesnar's been able to stand up, rams him into the corner. So Angle has to break the hold. They lay on the ground for a minute because Lesnar's just been choked out and Angle's just been rammed into the corner by like a 300-pound man. So that might be a little bit painful. So Angle charges at a stunned Lesnar, but Lesnar is able to deliver a vicious spinebuster. So Lesnar's doing that spot where he's standing dazed in the ring like this. That happens all the time. Sometimes it's almost always a counter. They're like, ugh, in the ring. And Angle runs straight at him, but Lesnar's playing possum, picks him up, spinebuster straight into the mat. It's a vicious move. It's got the quality of a Batista spinebuster. It is that good. So both men are down because Lesnar's still, recovering from that choke bow and arrow earlier, and Angle has just been beaten up by a big man. Therefore, he is also the equal amount of injured. So they're both laying down on the mat. Blah, 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 blah. Eventually, they both get up at the count of 8, and Angle is able to take control with various moves. And then they alternate control for a couple of minutes. Because, it'll be Angle, forearm, forearm. Oh, Lesnar, hip toss. Oh, goes with the clothesline, but Angle countered. Oh, DDT, boom. They'll always be consistently swapping who is in the lead. Brock does eventually take control by getting Angle in the corner and walloping him down, because that's what Lesnar does. So he delivers a pair of really, really painful belly-to-belly suplexes, because what you can see is that he's got him in the corner, right? Assuming this is the corner, you are the opposite corner of the ring. He belly-to-belly suplex to like here, goes over to that side while Kurt's like getting recovered, and then let's switch places again. Back over to this position. I accidentally decapitated Kurt while I was trying to do that move. Let's continue. So he goes for a third belly-to-belly suplex in the other corner, but Angle is able to do a standing switch, get around him, and deliver a series of Suplex City? Huh? That's Lesnar's move. But at this point, Lesnar wasn't really, Suplex City, bitch. He wasn't at that point yet. He was more, I'll do suplexes, and I'm really good at them, but I won't do them as German suplexes. He was more of a belly to belly, maybe an actual, normal suplex, you know what I mean, like this. And that's not something that you would see him do, but Kurt steals it from him. Then there's a really good series where Kurt goes for the angle slam, right? Kurt's in for the angle slam. He goes up, Brock's able to drop him down, spins him around, goes for the F5, drops down into an ankle lock. And now we have yet another submission hold, so both men can get a rest in. So he switches to a half Boston Crab a little bit through, but after about a minute or two, Brock is able to reach the ropes. Then, while Brock is kind of standing next to the ropes, dazed after, a pretty painful ankle lock, Brock is looking, oh no, Angle's running right at him and just launches him over the top rope. Like, it is insane how much height he gets. Assuming that my bed, which is right here, this is my bed. This is the ring level, right? And this is the top rope. Angle goes about here. This is the top rope, keep in mind. So there is a lot going on with this big move. This allows Angle to be stunned for quite a while, but Lesnar does get some time to rest. Angle gets back in the ring because he's pretty immortal during this match. He takes a lot of moves and doesn't sell them that much. He charges at Lesnar, but Lesnar's able to move out of the way. So Angle goes, I decapitated him again, straight into the corner. Bam! Then, after that, Lesnar is obviously in control now that Angle has smashed his face into the turnbuckle. And Angle is able to somehow, even after just doing that, Brock starts beating him up, but Angle's able to do another standing switch, German again, and both men are down. I don't know how Angle keeps doing this. I get he's the wrestling machine, but he'll get suplexed 8 times and then he'll get up like a minute later. All right, come on, get your rocks up, buddy. We're about to fight now. I'm like, how? Angle at this point, he takes off the straps. It takes like 5 minutes for me to take the straps off this figure. I'm not going to do it. But, he's ready. He takes off the straps. He gets in position, does an angle slam, gets quite a lot of height with it as well. Maybe it's because Lesnar is just a big man. However, he does get a 1, 2. And, generally, when you want to do a kick out, you generally kick out, like this. You want to make it definitive. Or if it's a bare knuckles kick out, it'll just kind of be 1, 2. Oh, what a kick out. That's the Orange Cassidy school of kicking out. But I guess Lesnar went to that school, even though Orange Cassidy was probably like 10 at this point, and just goes as his kick out method, which is one of the most boring ways to kick out of a move. However, it does seem relatively effective as the referee does notice, and Angle does not get the win. So Angle's like, oh man, how did that not win? So he goes to, attack further the downed Brock. Brock's able to get him into a small cradle. 1, 2. Oh, he almost had it. So they both get up, and Lesnar gets, really out of nowhere. He's Randy Orton in this match. Gets him up. F5 number 1. Angle's down. That's got to be it. No one's ever kicked out of the F5. 1, 2. Oh my gosh, Angle kicks out. And at the same time, no one had ever kicked out of the Angle Slam before Lesnar. So both men are equally trading. We are going to kick out of these moves. So both of those moves were very protected. And I do think it's the smartest decision to have both of them get broken as to not make one look more dominant over the other. So Brock is just kind of chilling like, oh, man, how did I not do that? So Angle kind of sneaks up behind him and gets him in the ankle lock. And not only gets him in the ankle lock, grapevines the ankle lock. So it's a lot more pain as Lesnar can't really crawl anywhere. But Lesnar, being Lesnar, still crawls from the middle of the ring all the way to the other side of the ring, gets the ropes. And Angle is shocked by this. So Kurt goes for the Angle Slam again. So, Lesnar's really in pain now that his leg's been really beat up. He's ready. Kurt's ready for the Angle Slam. Gets him up. Oh, nope. Lesnar gets down. Spins him around. F5, number 2. F5. 1, 2. No. You might think Lesnar would go for the pin after that. Now, Lesnar's just, I don't want to go for the pin. That's not my thing. So, Angle's down in the middle of the ring. Lesnar's sitting in the corner, and he just kind of goes, huh. That's the top rope. Rolls outside the ring, climbs to the top rope. This is probably the spot the best from this match. It is the attempted, shooting star press. And generally, when you do a shooting star press, you want to go, if this is where you're starting from, like this up, and you want to land relatively flat or like this. Best way to land. Lesnar does not land like this. He lands like this, right on his neck, and he is concussed instantly. And you can see it in the way he lands. Like if you wanted to sell it, you might go like, ooh, in a normal one. But Lesnar, when he lands, his hands just go out of, if I'm him, I land. And you can see clearly that was not supposed to happen. Even Angle looks a little confused that he didn't make contact. However, Angle says, oh, there's an opportunity. There's an opportunity. Puts his hand over Lesnar. 1, 2. Lesnar still somehow able to kick out even with a concussion. I don't know how. So both men somehow stumble to their feet. An Angle who's in the corner rushes at Lesnar. Lesnar still, even with a concussion, gets Angle up super quick for the third time. F5 to that American Olympian man. 1, 2, 3. You have a new WWE champion in Brock Lesnar, who is a very good talent at this point in his career. So now that we have finished the match, let's talk about the post-match angle. It's not that much, but after the match, both men are really down in the ring. They are very tired after this. Brock gets his title, and after he stands up, Angle's standing in the corner. Brock goes over to Angle. They shake hands. They celebrate together, and Angle is a very nice, fun babyface now. So all that said, let's look at the match. This match is a very good match. It has a good blend of technical masterpiece and pro wrestling greatness in it. And I think, personally, it's number 3 on the list now. So for those who are not aware, the current list is 17, or X7, 14, 19, 16, 2000. And 15. So all of them are in the 10s at this point. If you want to see what the previous lists were, go back and watch some of the previous content that I've made to see the prior listings. So this match, I will say, is incredibly good. I would recommend you watch it, especially if you haven't already. And even if you have, it's a great rewatch to see, especially for somebody who does not know wrestling that well. Make sure you have a good day, good evening, good night, good morning, good dawn, good dusk, good whatever. Make sure you watch any former or future episodes of this series, and goodbye.